What up, y'all? And we are right back with another fresh episode of Talk 1000 Podcast, where the new mental revolution is the new human evolution. And y'all are fucking up. We got some shit to talk about.
A long time coming.
Let me tell y'all something, man. As Blade once said in his first movie, there's another world beneath the one that you see, and that is the real world. And what you guys are seeing right now is that sugar-coated topic. And for this reason, your favorite heroes are getting busted. Everything's burning down. All of those chaos type things that you heard about in the Revelations that you completely ignore as you read your Bible every Sunday. And I'm not talking to everybody. Nope. And I'm not just talking to the 144,000. I'm talking about specifically those of you who contribute to the fact that the book of Revelations is even right. And we're not really getting biblical right now at all. But by the time we're done, some of you who've been reading that Bible are going to start studying it again and see how relevant a lot of this shit is. As I said before, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of Diddy.
Mostly don'ts.
Who did he do? How many men did he do? How many people told him don't go to the party? And how many people actually did? The do's and don'ts of Diddy. How this is affecting Hollywood, who's brought it upon himself, by the way. But ultimately, how it has affected everyday communities, families, friends, and worst off, the children, the youth. Let's face it, the youth is the future. Even though it sounds corny, all of us have been told that. And it's the truth. If you want a future. So, this is a very special 5th episode. And you know what? Be honest with you, bro. I don't even know if this is like the actual 5th episode or the 4th episode. I didn't do too many before. Because I know a lot of y'all know I was working on that VR podcast project. I kind of wanted to turn Talk 1000 to a VR thing. I'm still doing that because I know a lot of people are probably wondering about that. Yeah, I'm still doing that. You gotta understand the kind of money that I'm putting in on that, and you gotta understand the kind of money I'm putting into other things, including some of the investments that I have for podcasting itself.
And the time that this kind of thing takes. I mean, the promotion, all of that.
Yeah, it's not even the promotion, and then not to mention the fact that pretty much like I'm pretty much like the technical guy. Like I know how to do all this stuff. So like when we do our film, and I will talk about that sometime in the near future. I'm the guy that does all the special effects and the guy that does all of that crap, and I'm the one that has to sit down overnight and have red eyes doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of sacrificing a little bit for the team. The team is doing just their amount. They're doing what God expects them to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll get into all of that, but we want to talk, and trust me, I said that it wasn't off subject. I said that because it's going to have perfect relevance to the idea of the possibility that Hollywood itself could literally be burning down, and this is no pun intended. I feel very bad for all the innocents that got their homes lost in LA. I really, really do. I was homeless for 20 years. Trust me, there's nobody out there besides people like us who will understand what that's like. At the same time, I do also acknowledge a lot of celebrities that I've been watching the Twitters and everything have lost their homes too. or maybe like and you know what? I don't even think they actually lost like the one home, but that's just me. They probably had other homes in other places, you know. So, you know, I saw a lot of tweets that were saying the same thing I was saying. Up, you'll get another house. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get into all of that because it's gonna have very big relevance to the possibility of what can be possible for both you and your children in the future. We are starting to realize a lot of things through someone like Diddy. We definitely have to touch on that subject. Also, the next thing that we want to talk about is we have a small situation that people aren't looking at right now. We are also involved in our daily status quo 9-to-5 lives. We are not looking at I'm a martial artist. You have to pay attention to your surroundings. Whether you're a martial artist or not, you have to pay attention to your surroundings. You have to be conscious. And we're not doing that as a whole out here. We are having problems that we don't yet necessarily see, and I fear that we will not see them until it's too late, as we always do in this country. The overtrending of the LGBTQ community has caused a lot of confusion when it comes to the youth. I am deeply concerned about this. I know others that are deeply concerned about this, including ourselves. We are very supportive, by the way, as I said, of LGBTQ. I have gay friends. I have trans friends, okay? But we're not talking about them in particular. We're talking about the system that overpopularizes these things to the degree where I have quite a few times seen a 13-year-old transsexual. We should not be overtrending things to a scenario of that degree. So we're going to be getting into that as well. God, it feels good to be back, y'all. And I hate to say it, but I love to say it because of the simple fact that it gives me more fuel to the fire. They fucking up out there. They fucking up. And I'm very concerned. Don't get me wrong. But this is something I've been telling people for a very long time. This is something other celebrities have been warning people about for a very long time. So that's the other thing we're going to talk. The next thing we're going to talk about after that. Check me out. Let's be realistic. A lot of y'all know who I am. A lot of y'all know who I am. Let's be realistic. I've been putting music out since 2004. Got 2 albums under my belt and like a 14-track mixtape. I've been all over the internet. My music even made it overseas all the way to the UK. Let's be realistic. Y'all have been seeing and hearing things from other people that has caused me to kind of shift my energy in ways I did not expect in my own personal life. We're going to get realistic here today. When you don't try to understand the source, you have no say-so. Your words hold no value against someone you never met. This is common sense. But again, like I say, it's the type of common sense that this society does not pay attention to. You know who I am. You've heard the rumors. You know the smears. So guess what?
Now it's time you hear his side of the story.
You hear my side of the story with a witness. And that won't stop because there will be more to come. The soldiers are growing, y'all. You know that old song, we don't believe you, you need more people. Guess what? I've been had more people. My people stay in the shadows. They're smart. They know that going on social media and putting themselves out around me, associating with me, gets the haters to attack them. They go on your Instagram, they start seeing who likes what. Then they go into your likes, they see who likes what. They start smearing people there. They start smearing you through people in there, taking people away behind your back. That's how it starts. They can get enough people to side with them and agree with them, they win. But they win by playing tug of war with your mind. You allow it. A true man who knows truth knows what is absolute. He knows what he's seen, he's heard what he's heard. What he sees is what he sees the second he sees it. A lot of people out there don't like what they see or hear, so they shut it out. If they don't like what they see and they hear from you, they shut you out as well. And if they can get a certain number of people to do that, then that certain number of people can get another certain number of people and another certain number of people. What happens when that happens for at least 2 or 3 years in your life?
This kind of shit spreads like a virus. It's pretty obvious. Like, you have somebody who has no substance and they have all the popularity. They go and tell everybody. It spreads so quickly, it's hard to track down the source of it. By the time this shit, but by the time you really know what's going on, it's pretty hard to stop. So what do you got to do? You gotta defend yourself, and that's what we've been doing.
You have to defend yourself, and then you have to be offensive as well. You fight with the truth the same way they're fighting with the lie. They're grouping up to tell the lie. You group up with the people you know the truth. It's the only way it's done. Trust me when I tell you it took 3 years to realize that. I spent 3 years telling myself, if God's real, He'll figure it out. Somebody will figure out it ain't true. Something will click. That's why they tell you walk by faith and not by sight. Sometimes you gotta walk blindly. Sometimes the answer ain't just gonna come. Sometimes God ain't just gonna put a finger there and make it disappear. Because He wants you to walk by faith, not what you see and hear. And a lot of people don't walk by what their faith. If you can't walk by your faith, you don't see the real person because you're not walking by faith, and faith only lies within your heart. Not your brain, not your ears, not your eyes.
And a lot of people are too afraid to have faith. They don't want to see things that'll prove them wrong. They don't want to see things that'll make them realize, shit, this guy was right about everything. Maybe I should have treated him differently. Maybe I should have done this or that differently in my life. They don't want to have that faith, and if they do, they don't want to walk by it. They're too scared.
Yeah, exactly. They don't usually have that until you're dead. That's the only time they go, I should have helped that. We should have helped that person. Right. We should have been better. They try to make it right.
Take a look at Jimmy Carter, former president. Everybody knew he ran the economy to the ground. There were lines at the gas stations. Everybody knew he was a horrible president, probably one of our worst. He dies, and everybody says, remarkable man, great president, very great integrity, all this and that.
In the public eye, you cannot dirty up the legacy of any public figure, especially a public figure that is going to be a part of, throughout all of history. Because nobody wants to take that figure. The problem, the realization behind that is because that history is still there no matter what. So they want people, they try to get people to remember whatever little good traits he had. You know what I mean? And to block out all the extra stuff he was wrong on. You see what I'm saying? So they got to keep something there in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? That's how, it's kind of how people like R. Kelly lasted for so long. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he was such a good singer, and he's done this, and he's done that. I mean, Chief Keef the same way recently. Now he's in prison for, I forgot. I mean, maybe,
he got locked up?
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah.
No.
Okay, so Chief Keef. Okay, so check this out. Chief Keef was kind of running a campaign for a long time, and Judy's been a politician before. So Judy, yeah, that's why she's on our team. Judy has been a politician before. So Judy had informed me about how she would have been keeping up with Lil Durk running this campaign. But what happened was that, and I found this out a little bit before anybody, because Judy was in the meetings and everything, you know, when all this was happening. She was there when they gave Chief Keef the key to the city. They gave Chief Keef the key to the city here in Chicago shortly before he was arrested and put in prison.
I didn't know that.
So I knew that, but I didn't know that by fact. I knew that through what I was seeing on Twitter was him running this campaign. Chief Keef is from O Block. Remember, I was with Smiles and JoJo World. I was around when the whole Glow Gang, JoJo World, O Block thing was going down. You see what I'm saying? Right. I was around Smiles and Killer Kells and FBG Duck. I was around all of them. I got pictures with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So not Chief Keef. Lil Durk was a part of all of that in the background. I never met Lil Durk. He was one of the dudes one of the cats I didn't meet. But for someone like him and his history to suddenly be campaigning. And here's the thing about somebody who campaigns like that you got to be aware of. Nobody who's actually doing the greater good for people is ever in their life going to go and constantly put it on Twitter or go put it on Instagram. I keep calling him. It's just so much that was going on in that era, and I keep thinking Chief Keef, because that was one of the main guys that had beef with the people I was with. But no, when Lil Durk was going on, there was one specific tweet that he said where this is the part that people don't see about me. And he's got this charity thing going on. And I'm like, hold on, bro. You're from where we were at. If this was you, this would have been you online when we were out there with all that beef. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, make them.
Right, suddenly, suddenly it's just like, oh, see, this is the part of me that people don't know. What? And then the song All My Life came out, and I said, what is going on? It's like melting the butter on top of the cinnamon roll to me at that point. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it taste so, so caramel, salty, sweet. Every sweet flavor you could think of, he was laying it on these charity events, homeless events, and shelters, and then all my life, you know what I mean? And it was just like, okay, so you're telling me that now all of a sudden this is about to be the new Lil Durk. So you're about to be like the quote unquote Will Smith. Old school Will Smith of the game now, all of a sudden. Of the trap scene, of all, you know what I'm saying? Of all things.
Right.
So, when she informed me that he was in prison for plotting a murder, I said, man, I fucking knew it, dude. Like, ain't nobody campaigning that hard out of just the blue and trying to show it off to everybody. I help run a food pantry with Judy. Do I freaking tell everybody on Instagram, and do I go on Facebook, and every once in a little while I might do it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but it's not what you're trying to campaign about. And
I'm not going up there saying, well, this is the thing that people. I had my boy E-Man recently hit me up and said how proud he was of me because he wants to bring his daughter to our shelter, our food pantry, so that she sees the realities of how the poor live, right? Very noble thing for a father to do. You want to see homeless people while you're sitting around saying we're all broke when you got all these toys and all these things laying around? I'll show you something broke. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to come volunteer with his daughter and help us at the food pantry for a little while to show her. He said he told me how he's proud of me for doing the food pantry thing and helping people out who are poor. Is just something that he I didn't even know he actually thought of me in that light. You know what I'm saying? But I explained to him it's what they don't see that makes you remember who you are, because you can post that shit on Twitter, and then a month from now, they still treat you like crap because you maybe said something or made a mistake or whatever, and forget that even happened. At the end of the day, you can look at your mirror and know who you are.
Right.
So it's the stuff they don't see. It's not the battles that you win that everybody sees. It's the battles you have fought in the darkness of the shadows that they never saw. Those are what make you who you are. You need no one's approval for that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm a rebel to that degree, because being a rebel in this day and age is right. If going by what everybody's societal standard is makes you feel uncomfortable, then it ain't for you.
Right, and there's a good reason it feels uncomfortable, more so probably than any other period ever. You have how many things being pushed by the government. You have a thing in your pockets that can track you every which way. They have access to way too much. Yeah, I mean, they know we're here. They'll probably be listening to this podcast even.
They're probably listening to it now.
Right.
I mean, shit. Listen, I have had too many experiences where I get somewhere and someone comes out and pops up out of my in my inconvenience. Mm-hmm. And he witnessed that yesterday. Jay witnessed that yesterday. And I was telling him this before. I said, I constantly go through it. Now you're finally seeing it. It's not the fact that it happened. If it can be broken down to a science that's constantly happening, you have to ask how it happened and be able to answer it. If there's no answer, then there's no real reason, which means there's no real logical sense behind it. You know what? It's cool to be an overthinker, man. It's cool to be an overthinker, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. You ever try to lie to an overthinker? That's like asking Freddy Krueger for a sleeping pill, bro. You're asking for it. It's never gonna end well.
I'd rather be an overthinker than an underthinker.
You can't mess around with people who have trained their brain to go home, sit down, and think about a scenario that you created that didn't make sense over and over and over and over and over and over and over until the answer clicks in their mind. They try to tell you an overthinker is paranoid, that he's schizo and this and that and the other thing. They survive. They live. A lot of people around me dead in my lifetime because I had the instincts of an overthinker. Let me tell you something. That's why a lot of men out there get cheated on. You don't know how Snapchat work. And the second you try to go see what she doing, she gonna want to go fight you and this and that. Yeah, she guilty. Brothers, real men know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. The last thing you want to think is going on, that's the reason why it's the first thing they're doing. Because they've already put you in a position after so long of believing that they couldn't possibly do that. Now they have all the opportunity to actually do that. You can't trust motherfuckers at all. Some people can't even trust themselves. If you wake up one day and you ain't got no friends and you're wondering what's wrong, go look in the mirror and see if there's a friend looking at you in the mirror. And if there ain't nobody good standing in front of you when you look in that mirror, then you really have no friends, even if you got 100 of them. Because at the end of the day, when you on that deathbed and you pass on, you're the only one passing on. Who's jumping in that casket with you, brother, sister? We got a bit to talk about, y'all. All right, we're gonna take a break. Let's get into it, y'all. Talk 1000 podcast. The new mental revolution is the new human evolution.